Good morning, student. Today I will going to teach us class 10, part 3rd, subject history in social science, lesson 4, the making of a global world. Today these points are trade relationship between India and China. In 19th century, the British manufacturers flooded the Indian market. Food grains and raw materials which were exported from India to Britain increased. यानी भारत और चाइना के बीच जो है अनाज का व्यापार जो है वह दिन प्रतिदिन बढ़ता चला गया. द वैल्यू ऑफ ब्रिटिश एक्सपोर्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया वॉज मच हायर देन द वैल्यू ऑफ ब्रिटिश imports from India. Thus Britain had a trade surplus with India and used this surplus to balance its trade deficits with other countries. This trade surplus of Britain helped the home charges, private remittance of British officials, traders, interest payments of external debt and pensions of British officials in India. The value of British exports to India much higher than the value of British export. यानी कि भारत के लोग जो एक्सपोर्ट्स लोग थे, निर्यातक लोग थे, उन लोगों को सबसे ज़्यादा वैल्यूज़ दी जाती थी. उनके इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट्स और एक्सटर्नल डिबेट्स जो होते थे, पेंशन जो होते थे, वो ब्रिटिश ऑफिशियल्स भारत में उन लोगों के लिए दिए जाते थे. अब the interwar economy, the first world war 1940-18, the first world war was fought between two power blocs. On one side were the alliance Britain, France, Russia, and the other opposite side were the central powers Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Ottoman Turkey. For the first time, modern weapons like machine guns, tanks, etc. Household incomes also declined due to the death or injury of the earning members of the family, and women had to take the jobs. The wheat exports from Eastern Europe were disrupted during the war. As a result, wheat production in Canada, America, and Australia expanded. After the war, production in Eastern Europe revived and created a glut in wheat output. तो इस तरह से कैसे इंटरवार इकोनॉमिक यानी कि आंतरिक इकोनॉमिक को लेकर के कैसे ये डिस्ट्रप्शन चल रहा था, तो ये इंटरवार था इकोनॉमिक को लेकर के. अब आगे नेक्स्ट पॉइंट्स आर फर्स्ट मास प्रोडक्शन ऑफ कार्स. कार मैन्युफैक्चरर्स और अडॉप्टेड एज असेंबल लाइन्स. दिस न्यू कार प्लांट इन Detroit. This assembly line forced the worker to repeat a single task mechanically and continuously, which is dictated by the conveyor belt. The T Model 4 was the world's first mass production car. It paid high wages to the workers to do monotonous tasks, but recovered this cost through faster production. Car production in the US rose from 2 million in 1990 to more than 5 million in 1929. Next points, factors responsible for depression. First, agriculture overproduction remained a problem. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ओवर प्रोडक्शन हो रहा था. इसके एग्रीकल्चर में ओवर प्रोडक्शन की वजह से भी काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम आई. दिस डिक्रीज द प्राइसेस ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्शन. जब ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन या उत्पादन होता है तो उसके दाम या भाव जो कम हो जाते हैं. फार्मर्स ट्राई टू एक्सपेंड प्रोडक्शन टू मेंटेन देयर ओवरऑल इनकम. सेकेंड पॉइंट्स, एट दैट टाइम मेनी कंट्रीज फाइनेंस देयर इन्वेस्टमेंट through the loans they got from the US. American capitalists stalled our loans to European countries. In Europe, it led to the failure of some major banks and collapse of currencies like sterling. इस तरीके से जब बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोडक्शन होने लगा तो अनाजों के दाम कम होने लगे और कुछ लोग लोन उठा करके काम करना चाह रहे थे, जिस पर कि अंग्रेजों ने लोन देना भी बंद कर दिया. India and the Great Depression. Factors responsible for depression are establishment of IMF World Bank. The International Bank for Reconstruction and Development was set up to finance post-war reconstruction. The IMF and World Bank are referred as the Bretton Woods institution or the twins of the Bretton Woods. The International Monetary System is the system linking national currencies and monetary system. Under this system, the national currencies followed the fixed exchange rates and were fixed to the US dollar. New economic policy in China. China had been cut off from the post-war world economy since its revolution in 1949. But new economic policies in China and the collapse of the Soviet Union and Soviet-style communism in Eastern Europe brought many countries back into the fold of the world economy. G77 countries. G77 were a group of developing countries in the late 20th century to demand a new international economic order, NIEO. Why did Group 77 countries demand a new international economy? As a result of these two institutions, the Western industrial nations along with Japan saw an resented increase in their trade and incomes between 1950 and 1970, but most of the developing countries did not benefit from the fast growth patterns by the Western economies as a reaction against these parties and against the activities of the Bretton Woods. So, children, this lesson was over, and children, read carefully lesson, and multiple choice questions are completely in your book. Okay.